Good morning and welcome to ICANN. I'm teacher Edward.
Yes.
So first of all, I would like you to introduce yourself.
Um, my name is Oh Yu Kyung in Korean age, Korean name. And my English name is Hannah Oh, and I came from China. Like before I lived here, I came from China.
I see.
And yes, before Antipolo, I was living in Baguio, and I came here to Antipolo. Like here, I'm living in Antipolo.
Now?
Yes, now.
Mhm.
And I'm going to my school is Manila Hanguk Academy. Do you know?
Where is that?
It's in Antipolo. It's
Also.
Korean school.
You're far from here.
It's very far.
So how do you go here?
I come by the bus. There is a bus going to Ortigas.
Like public bus?
Yes, public bus.
You take it? Wow, that's pretty cool. Alright then. Okay, thank you so much for the introduction. Let's begin with my questions. I'll be asking you 4 questions today, okay? The first one is about books. Do you like books?
Not actually.
Not really.
Not really.
What's the last book you read?
The last book, actually, it's Korean book. So, can I say in Korean?
Yeah,
Maybe,
sure. What's the title?
It's a 가시고기.
Okay. So I would like you to explain this book to me. Tell me the summary.
Summary. This book is about a love of the father to the son, like his son, and there is like only the two of them living each other, but they're very poor. Like the father, but they're very poor. But the son is very sick. He's like he only have 3 years for living to live, and then they're very the father works like and uses all of his money to for the hospital, for the medicine, and then for the surgery of the child, and they will keep on living like that. But actually, like they're before they lived like it, they had a mother, but the father and the mother divorced because the mother just went out of the house, leave the house because the father is very poor, so she didn't like it, so she just leave all her son, and so that's why also the son missed his mother, and like they were living like that, very missing their mother, but while they are living, the father's health got like they're less like
deteriorated.
Deteriorated, and then because he was keep on he didn't care about his health, but he was keep on like taking care of his son, only his son. So that's why his health got deteriorated, and then. But he didn't know because his mind was only to his son.
I see.
Yes. So and then they were living like that, and later he found out. The father found out that his health is very deteriorated. Like it's getting worse.
Yeah.
So like the doctor said, actually he will only live like 1 month. So that's the time he planned to do everything with his son, like going to a trip together, because also son he was always in the hospital. He couldn't go out, even he couldn't go to school, so that's why they went to the trip and do all the things, and later the father died. And he had to go to his mother, but the mother was very strict, and she didn't actually like his son, but she remarried with a very rich man in Paris, so she took him to Paris, and yes, actually that's really a sad story, but and
tragedy.
The father's life is very poor because he lived all by his son, by taking care. Yes.
well explained. That's really good. I kind of have an idea of this. Maybe if there's an English version, I would want to read it. Okay, let's move on. Is it ever okay to lie?
Ever okay to lie?
Yeah.
Lying.
Lying.
Ah,
Like, when is the time that it's okay to lie?
lie. Maybe. Actually, lying is not a really good thing. But like, for example, you have to lie. Like
Yeah.
wait, for example, you don't have time, but actually you're like very tired of being tired, and then your friend calls me to like, tomorrow let's go to Mega Mall, but I'm very tired now, and then
Yes.
tomorrow I want to rest.
Yes.
But like but I can't say I want to rest, so I don't want to go like that. It's
Yes.
very rude to say that. So it might be because if we are not very friendly, then
Yeah.
then the so like saying like, oh, actually tomorrow I have to go somewhere.
I see.
Maybe.
So it won't hurt the feelings of other
Yes.
people. All right, yeah, that's understandable. Okay, next, I would like you to describe, because you mentioned you lived in China,
Yes.
and then can you describe your city in China?
City in China. My city, I was living in Yanji in China, but it's
Yanji?
not actually a big city. It's like similar with Antipolo. It's not a very big city. It's
Yes.
like urban, but not actually urban.
Ah,
But,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
But like I was living there, so that's why it was very used to me. Like environment was very familiar when I first came to Antipolo, because it was like similar. But I would like, there actually is a place where Korean Chinese live. Do you know Korean Chinese?
Community like that?
Yes, community of Korean Chinese, like a 조선족. Yes, like that.
Yeah, okay.
And then I was living with them. So actually, I don't know Chinese words. Actually, I knew a little bit, but not really. Like, I can't say it fluently, because like I was living with the Korean Chinese, and they were actually speaking their language, but similar with Korean.
I see.
So that's why I can communicate with them. And I also went to there is an American school there, and then I went to American school there.
I see. Wow.
But actually, I had a really good memory there, a lot with my friends, and also my Korean Chinese friends and my Chinese friends, because that was my first. That was the city I was born, and then I grew up there, and I lived there for like 13 years. So it's very memorable to me.
I
That
see.
city.
Okay, good. Okay, one last question. Why do you think English is difficult for many Koreans?
English may be very difficult to Koreans because the English and Korean, it's very different. Like, for example, English, like when you say I went to school, but it's like in Korea it's opposite. The school I went, like that, it's very different. So actually, the position, like order, it's different. So like in sentence or even you're speaking, so it's always always different. So I think that might be the reason. And also the writing is also difficult. Like if you see, it's very opposite.
That's true.
But in Chinese, actually, Chinese people, they can learn English more quicklier because I also use they use character, but also the pinyin called like, yes, English version of Chinese. So, but Korea, they don't actually have that. So that's why I don't think it would be very hard for the Koreans.
So that explains. All right. Wow, that's really good. Okay, so Hannah, thank you so much for answering my question. So we're done. This is quite long, we have been talking for 10 minutes now. But that's okay, that's really good. So I'm gonna see you again soon. But for now, look at the camera and say goodbye.